Hold the tissue now. Okay. I think we're going to begin. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 345th meeting of the City of Laurel Board of Appeals. This is our first really cold night for a meeting in a long time. May I have a roll call, please?
Mr. Whitley? Mr. Lee?
Present.
Ms. Les?
Present.
Ms. Collins?
Present.
Mr. Mitchell?
All right, Mr. Mitchell.
Chairwoman Chenault?
Here.
We have a quorum.
All right. I think we'll wait until the end to introduce our new solicitor. Is that all right with you all? Item number 2 is approval of the minutes from the November 30th meeting. May I have any corrections, amendments, or a motion?
Madam Chair, I make a motion that we approve the minutes from the November 30th meeting as assigned.
A second.
Thank you.
Mr. Lee?
Yes.
Ms. Les?
Yes.
Ms. Collins?
Yes.
Chairwoman Chenault?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Item number 3 on our agenda this evening is special exception application number 879, resolution number 1707 BOA-9701 Fort Meade Road, Suite 200, number 200, filed by Christ Vision Ministries, seeking a special exception application approval to operate a house of worship. Would you like to do a reading of our record here, please?
Of course. Good evening, Madam Chairwoman,
Good
board
evening.
members.
Good evening.
Special exemption application number 879 was filed on October 25th, 2017 by Christ Vision Ministries to operate a house of worship at 9701 Fort Meade Road, Unit 200, Laurel, Maryland. Under date of October 31st, 2017, the application and a cover letter asking for comments were also sent to the following agencies: Maryland State Highway Administration, Washington Suburban Sanitary Commission, Prince George's County Health Department, Maryland Department of Planning, Baltimore Gas and Electric Company, the Maryland National Capital and Park and Planning Commission, Prince George's County Department of Public Works and Transportation, Verizon, Prince George's County Public Schools Pupil Accounting and School Boundaries, and Prince George's County Public Schools Department of Capital Programs. Under date of October 31st, 2017, a memorandum asking for comments was sent to the following city departments: Department of Public Works, Police Department, Department of Parks and Recreation, Office of Fire Marshal, and Permit Services. The following agencies' responses were received. No issues with the request comments from Washington Suburban Sanitary Commission, Prince George's County Health Department, Prince George's County Public Schools Department of Capital Programs. Other comments: the State Highway Administration, no access permit is needed for the project. The following responses were received from the city departments. The Laurel Police Department said no concerns due to operating during off days/hours of the Amish market. City of Laurel Department of Parks and Recreation, no issues with the request. City of Laurel Fire Marshal, no issues. Church should limit hours so that they are not open when the Amish market operates. And the City of Laurel Department of Public Works had the following comment: this department has reviewed the special exemption application of the House of Worship to remodel one existing unit at 9701 Fort Meade Road, Suite 200, into a church. This proposed church will be utilized in the same parking lot with the Dutch Country Farmers Market and other businesses at 9701 Fort Meade Road. The following comments and recommendations are offered at this time. This building is fronting Maryland 198 Fort Meade Road, which is state maintained roadway. The applicant is responsible for any state permit and site access improvements if it is required by the state. According to the statement of justification for the special exemption, all the activities in the church will be conducted from Sunday to Wednesday. There will be no conflict with the Dutch Country Farmers Market, which is currently open Thursday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., Friday from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., and Saturday from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. No significant traffic impact is expected from this proposed project. Some of the existing handicap parking spaces are not connected to an ADA ramp. The applicant or the property owner should consider constructing a ramp in order to provide better and easier access route for people with disabilities. No improvement is proposed in the city's public right-of-way at this time. The applicant must contact this department to discuss the refuse and recycling plan prior to the opening. No other comments were received. On November 6, 2017, a letter explaining the nature of the application and advertising of the scheduled public hearings on the application before the Planning Commission and the Board of Appeals was sent by certified mail to all contiguous property owners. All return receipts were received. A memorandum from the City of Laurel Planning Commission to the Board of Appeals dated December 18, 2017 reads as follows. At the regular meeting of the City of Laurel Planning Commission held on December 12, 2017, the following action was taken on the subject zoning application. On the motion by Mr. Wilford, seconded by Mr. Kish, and carried on a roll call vote by all other members present, the Planning Commission recommended that the City of Laurel Board of Appeals grant special exemption application number 879 with the following conditions. Number 1, the applicant shall obtain a City of Laurel use and occupancy permit. Number 2, the applicant shall not operate during the following hours when the Dutch Amish market is open: Thursday 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., Friday 9 a.m. from 7 p.m., and Saturday 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. And third, the applicant shall obtain a City of Laurel sign permit. The file contains a certificate of publication verifying that this application and public hearing was advertised in the December 21st, 2017 issue of the Prince George's Sentinel. The file contains an affidavit signed by the applicant attesting that a zoning sign has been placed on the subject property and has remained and shall remain until a decision is reached by the Board of Appeals. That concludes the reading of the file, Madam Chairwoman. In summation, the applicant is proposing a house of worship to be placed at 9701 Fort Meade Road, Unit 200, Laurel, Maryland. The property is zoned commercial general. The property is surrounded by properties in the commercial general zone to the north, by properties in the public institutional zone to the south and to the east, and by properties in the commercial shopping center zone to the west. The previous use of the property was also a house of worship. The applicant shall not operate the house of worship during the days that the Dutch Amish market is open in order to prevent parking issues. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Do we have any questions of staff? Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak on behalf of this special exception? I don't see anyone signed up. I guess not. My question was, since it was already a church, was it really necessary? But Christian was saying that it hasn't been passed, that it's an approved item automatically just because it was once a church.
Correct. Yep.
Okay. All right. And I was just wondering if there were any members from the other church that were trying to reopen, because I know they didn't have a great deal of success opening the first time, but we wish them well. Any questions or comments?
No, you all have answered mine this time on the clashing of the parking, so I'm very happy about that. So.
Okay. With that, may I have a motion, please?
Yes, Madam Chair, I make a motion. I hereby move that we adopt the findings of fact and conclusion of law as outlined in the technical staff support for application number 879 and move approval of resolution number 17-07-BOA as presented.
Thank you. May I have a second?
Second.
Thank you.
Mr. Lee?
Yes.
Ms. Collins?
Yes.
Ms. Les?
Yes.
Chairwoman Chenault?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, good luck to all the members of the church. Item number 4 on the agenda is exciting. Special exception application number 881, resolution number 1708 BOA, 14703 Baltimore Avenue, Suite B, filed by Blue Pharms LLC, seeking a special exception application approval to operate a medical cannabis dispensary. May I have a reading of the record, please?
Yes. Thank you, Madam Chairwoman, board members. Special exemption application number 881 was filed on October 30th, 2017 by Blue Pharms LLC to operate a medical cannabis dispensary at 14703 Baltimore Avenue, Suite B, in Laurel, Maryland. Under date of November 2nd, 2017, the application and a cover letter asking for comments were also sent to the following agencies: the Maryland State Highway Administration, the Washington Suburban Sanitary Commission, Prince George's County Health Department, Maryland Department of Planning, Baltimore Gas and Electric Company, the Maryland National Capital Park and Planning Commission, Prince George's County Department of Public Works and Transportation, Verizon, Prince George's County Public Schools Pupil Accounting and School Boundaries, Prince George's County Public Schools Department of Capital Programs. Under date of November 2nd, 2017, a memorandum asking for comments was sent to the following city departments: Department of Public Works, Police Department, Department of Parks and Recreation, and the Office of Fire Marshal and Permitting Services. The following agency responses were received. No issues with the request comments from Washington Suburban Sanitary Commission, Prince George's County Health Department, Prince George's County Public Schools Department of Capital Programs. Other comments: the State Highway Administration stated that no access permit is needed for this project. The following responses were received by the city departments. Laurel Police Department, no issues, would like to review the security plans when submitted. City of Laurel Parks and Recreation, no issues with the request. City of Laurel Fire Marshal, property must meet the following 4 requirements. Number 1, sprinkler system inspection must be correct. Number 2, building permit needs to be obtained through the city. Number 3, standalone fire alarm system must be provided. 4, must meet the Code of Maryland Regulation 10.62.27.00. The City of Laurel Department of Public Works had the following comment. This department has reviewed the special exemption application for a medical cannabis dispensary by remodeling and using the existing unit at 14703 Baltimore Avenue, Suite B. The following comments and recommendations are offered at this time. This facility will be accessed off U.S. Route 1, Baltimore Avenue, which is a state-maintained roadway. The applicant is responsible for any state permit and site access improvements if it is required by the state. With a gross floor area of 5,308 square feet, and considering that this facility is a pharmacy without a drive-through window, no significant traffic impact will be generated through this proposed use. This department does not provide hazardous material or medical waste pickup or disposal. The applicant must provide us with a waste disposal plan as soon as possible. No improvement is proposed in the city's public right-of-way at this time, and any roadway closures or public sidewalk closures are needed. The applicant must contact the state and this department for approval prior to the start of the work. The applicant is responsible for all damages done within the public right-of-way. No other comments were received. On November 6, 2017, a letter explaining the nature of the application, advertising of the scheduled public hearings on the application before the Planning Commission and the Board of Appeals was sent by certified mail to all contiguous property owners. All return receipts were received. A memorandum from the City of Laurel Planning Commission to the Board of Appeals dated December 18, 2017 reads as follows. At the regular meeting of the City of Laurel Planning Commission held on December 12, 2017, the following action was taken on the subject zoning application. On motion by Mr. Kish and seconded by Mr. Welford and carried on a roll call vote by all other members present, the Planning Commission recommended that the City of Laurel Board of Appeals grant special exemption application number 881 with the following conditions. Number 1, the applicant shall obtain a City of Laurel use and occupancy permit. Number 2, the applicant shall allow the City of Laurel Police Department to conduct a walkthrough of the property prior to the operation of the business. Number 3, the applicant shall obtain a City of Laurel sign permit. Number 4, the applicant shall comply with all federal, state, and local laws and regulations for protection of the use of the property. The file contains a certificate of publication verifying that this application and public hearing was advertised in the December 21st, 2017 issue of the Prince George's Sentinel. The file contains an affidavit signed by the applicant attesting that a zoning sign has been placed on the subject property and has remained and shall remain until the decision is reached by the Board of Appeals. This concludes the reading of the file, Madam Chairwoman. In summation, the applicant is proposing a medical cannabis dispensary to be placed at 14703 Baltimore Avenue, Suite B, Laurel, Maryland. The property is zoned commercial general. It is surrounded by properties in the commercial shopping center zone to the north, by properties in the commercial general zone and industrial general zones to the east, by properties in the commercial general zone to the west, and by a commercial business park property not within the city limits of Laurel to the south. The last use and occupancy permit on file show that the previous use was an insurance agency. The applicant shall comply with all federal and local laws, which includes an inspection from the state of Maryland. The applicant shall allow the City of Laurel Police Department to conduct a walkthrough of the property prior to the operation of the business. The applicant has been fully cooperative and is eager to work with the city and staff on this endeavor. Thank you.
Thank you. We have two gentlemen here to speak on behalf of this resolution. If you would like to come up to the podium, we may have some questions for you. Is it Kapesh, Mr. Shaw? Would you give us your name and address for the record, please, sir?
My name is Kapesh Shah, 3301 Laurel Court, Ellicott City, Maryland.
You're not the owner.
I am.
You are the owner.
I am
Oh,
the owner.
okay, all right. Okay, so you're the owner of Jordan 1.
No, I'm the owner of Food Farms now.
Oh, okay, because it says applicant.
The shopping center.
Oh, I see. All right. The way they have it in here, it says applicant and then owner. I thought it was the owner of that. So, did you have you opened any of these anywhere else in the state?
No.
No, it's the first one. Okay. Did you look at any other locations in the area?
We did. We looked at, there was some restrictions from the city of Laurel that we were discussing with the economic development center, and we exactly we have to be in certain major roads. So we were looking at Route 1 up and down, and we talked to various. Okay, sorry. So we were talking to various landlords and brokers, and we were looking for locations. And this particular district that we were assigned goes from Laurel all the way to College Park. So we were looking really up and down Route 1 all the way through College Park. But we found a location in Laurel that we were willing to, the landlord was willing to work with us with this use. And it was the right size, right dynamics that we were looking for in terms of location, population, and access.
How long would the build out take? Because I know you have to have special features.
Yeah, so about 90 days for
Well, that's not bad.
conditioning. Yeah, it's a very simple build out. I mean, we have, we have requirements from the state that we have to follow, the COMA regulations. We will take around 90 days to build out, and then have the proper inspections.
Is the state the biggest controller for you?
It's the sole control.
Sole control. I just wasn't sure.
The license is issued by the state of Maryland. Again, we have to do the build out according to COMAR specific specifications, and then we will get inspected by the state of Maryland before we open. So we have to make sure we pass all those requirements, and then once we pass, then we are given the physical license to operate the location.
Okay.
This whole thing is managed by the state of Maryland Department of Health and Mental Hygiene.
Except for that one interesting clause in there that the feds say you have to be a cash-oriented business. Is that going to change? That seems crazy.
I think, we have banks in Maryland who are working with us. We are also going to be allowing debit card sales. So it won't be just cash. We will have debit card sales as well.
But is that really a federal regulation?
No.
No.
There's banks that are not really using, medical cannabis accounts. So because the Department of Treasury has some regulations on what is allowed and what isn't. So most banks don't touch us. That's why, there's a federal overlay.
That's why. All right. That hasn't been
There's a
changed
Department
yet.
of Treasury
Right.
thing.
Right. That
We do
hasn't
have a
changed.
bank in Maryland, Severn Bank in Annapolis, that is allowed us, not only us, but the entire cannabis industry, to work with them. We have accounts already with them for our dispensary.
That's right, because it's still an illegal substance, so the banks can't take any.
Unfortunately.
I forgot about that.
So what was the requirement of the location? You had to be on Route 1, is that what you
Yeah,
said?
that was, the city of Laurel had particular requirements on, I think, 3 or 4 major roads that we could be on. And one of the major ones was Route 1. So we had to follow those and look for a location on Route 1.
That seems very strange to me. See, I would think with something like a dispensary like that you would be more in a medical community. like around the hospital, the medical center over there. That's not the way that operates?
No, when the legislation was passed in 2016, it had to be in a commercial general zone, and it had to either be on Baltimore Avenue, Washington Boulevard, or 2nd Street.
That seems very strange to me. Just especially to be in a center with, other things. It would just make more sense to me based on what you're doing, what you're selling, to be in a medical community.
This is strict. I want to make clear to everybody that this is strictly a medical program. We just like any other pharmacy, patient needs to see a doctor first. They need to get a prescription, then they come to visit our facility to get the medicine, which comes in various forms.
Right. And the other question I had, which was in here, was about the waste, the medical waste. What do you have in the way of waste products?
We don't. I mean, we're not.
You're not.
We're not curing the product.
Right, you're not producing it.
Product. Everything comes packaged or prepackaged, and
So if a package
we're just
is
dispensing. We're just selling it.
if a package is damaged, you have some special way of.
We have to return it to the state of Maryland. Keep it.
Okay.
We have to record it and we have to return it to the state of Maryland.
You'll have to forgive us. We have lots of
No,
questions.
it's fine. Happy to answer any.
Okay, good. Anybody else with questions?
Just a couple. I also read the two. You've explained the cash, so I'm happy about that, and hopefully you get more customers that use debit cards.
Yeah.
But I'm sure that your security operation for cash will be up to date, and hopefully you'll work with the Laurel Police to make sure we have the best for that. I know a little bit about hazmat waste, so I'm happy to hear that you're not manufacturing the product, but I'm sure that there are enough licensed hazmat waste people that if you need to, you could find some. I, for one, have changed my views on this. I watched something the other day about veterans having very difficult times with PTSD and how medical marijuana is helping. And I can tell you that now I'm sort of more for it than against it because of that, especially after watching that gut-wrenching series of articles about our veterans and some of the problems they're having. So as long as it's running within the guidelines that we put out, I welcome you, and hopefully you'll be successful.
Oh, I know you'll be successful. Everyone I've known is successful doing this. It's just finally taking off.
We're glad to be in Laurel.
Good. Well, welcome. And you have to follow all the guidelines, and the
Yes.
police department will be sure you do. So I think we're pretty safe.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions? Okay. Mr. Coleman, did you want to speak, or?
Yeah, I can agree. I'm here to support Mr. Shaw. I've known him approximately 4 years as a business person. I've also was interested in this industry. I didn't obtain a license, so I kind of moved on. But I've attended many of the meetings at the State House, and I know him to be very diligent about following the regulations and learning what those regulations are. Also have a second reason. I'm kind of happy that you mentioned that. I'm also a 20-year Army veteran, and I also support this effort because of the soldiers that have PTSD, as well as the kids and that use the non-psychoactive versions, known as CBD. Where you don't have that psychoactive effect. It's helped those kids tremendously. And I just wanted to offer my support for those.
Yeah, I did see a special on 60 Minutes that had a child that had continuous seizures, and the marijuana dipping cannabis actually helped him. It was amazing. Yeah, I just had a problem with the location, but now that I understand it, I'm fine. I'm good.
Thank you for your service, too, sir.
Thank you. Are there any more comments? If not, may I have a motion, please?
Madam Chair, I make a motion. I hereby move that we adopt the findings of fact and conclusions of law as outlined in the technical staff report for application number 881 and move approval of resolution number 17-08-BOA as presented.
Thank you. May I have a second, please?
Second.
Thank you.
Mr. Lee?
Yes.
Ms. Les?
Yes.
Ms. Collins?
Yes.
Chairwoman Chenault?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Good luck.
We'll be interested to see. I'm sure the paper will have something on you as you're getting going. And it'd be interesting to see if you get much hostility, too. You just don't know. Sometimes you do. So we'll see. Is there anything else we need to discuss? You want to introduce our new city solicitor?
No, we don't have any other business besides we have a new city solicitor that will be officially starting January 1st, Mr. Larry Taub. I'm not sure if he wants to say anything.
We'll just say.
Good evening, everybody. Yes, I'm Larry Taub, and I just want to say I'm really very, very pleased to be here. It's really a privilege and an honor to be representing the city. My wife and I have been to the city many, many times. We don't live that far away. I was a member of Osei Shalom Synagogue in the city. In fact, I was instrumental in annexing that property into the city when we were there. I was on the board of Laurel for a number of years, and we just think a great deal of the city, and I'm very happy to be here. I'm looking forward to working with you all. Thank you.
Well, we're glad you're here, too.
Yes.
We're going to have a good 2018, guys, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
Absolutely. Just get rid of this. Whatever it is,
Go
now
snow.
will be fine. With that, I guess we will adjourn the meeting. Wish everyone a happy new year and a healthy one. And there we have it.